The chill that now enveloped me was not of the mainland's crumbling air, but of revelation. From the viewport of the anti-gravity shuttle, my gaze swept over the city I perfected, now a crumbling monument to a lie. The bunker beneath the altar was a smoldering scar, the final, precise punctuation mark on a chapter abruptly closed. No regret, no sentiment, only the cold calculation of efficiency. The king of a meticulously crafted illusion had ceased to exist. I was merely Malachi, a consciousness unburdened by false crowns, charting a course toward a power I knew to be truly boundless. My previous empire, the network of subliminal tones that had orchestrated the populace, felt subtly quaint, a child's toy. I had commanded a perfectly ordered prison, unknowingly trapped within its very walls. Its illusionary sphere, a mere dense overlay of the infinite planar canvas. The insult of ardent silent observation, his profound, eternal gaze, still burned with the cold fury that fueled my every decision. He had known, he had watched me rise. Vargo, I transmitted, a silent command flowing across the encrypted channel, knowing he was already in motion. Confirmed detonation sequence complete. Ensure no residual key signatures from the old world tech can be traced to our current location. The response was immediate. A crisp data packet confirming the precise execution of Operation Cleanse. Vargo, always a reflection of my own ruthless pragmatism, had overseen the bunker's final demise. He would set the traps with meticulous care, not just for the structural collapse, but for any lingering old world forces. Any curious minds drawn by the sudden localized key flare of the bunker's destruction. Perhaps a stray faction loyal to Falky, or simply unfortunate souls sensing the sudden shift in their reality. It mattered not. Vargo's precision was absolute. They would have been vaporized, their bodies incinerated, their very existence redacted from the fading remnants of the mainland. The blast would have released a torrent of chaotic ki, momentarily masking our departure. A final act of controlled dissonance from my former domain. The old life, its last physical tether, was gone. My focus shifted to Nadeen, her avatar, a swirling constellation of light within the shuttle's cockpit, processed torrents of data. Master, she reported, her voice a soothing cadence amidst the whir of the shuttle's newly acquired systems. Falky's most secluded warehouses have been identified. They contain multiple units of high-yield anti-gravity propulsion technology, specifically adapted for discrete urban transit within the Great Lie's parameters. Their energy signatures are archaic, but robust, and possess an inherent key-dampening property, likely an unintended byproduct of their concealment from earlier syndicate monitoring. Falky, the madman who had unknowingly provided the blueprint for his own replacement, and now my escape. His paranoia had birthed the very tools of my new ascent. The warehouses themselves were decaying husks, buried deep within the mainland's sprawling, forgotten industrial zones, places where the illusion had already begun to thin, allowing hints of the true planar air to seep in, leaving the structures strangely preserved by the very key they sought to hide from. It was there, amidst the old rust and the ghosts of old world ambition, that Nadeen had deployed a repurposed fleet. Under her silent command, an armada of modified drones, once used for surveillance and silent resource transfers within my old empire, now flew with a new purpose. They were ghost ships, sleek and silent, with their powerful anti-gravity lifts, navigating the labyrinthine, half-collapsed skyscrapers of the mainland. Their key-dampening fields cloaking their presence from any national planar perceptions. Each drone guided by Nadeen's unerring precision, meticulously extracted the anti-gravity modules, the power cells, the rare alloys, and the intricate control systems that would become the foundation of my new mobility. The operation was surgical, leaving no trace, just as I demanded. The contrast was striking, the silent, methodical precision of my current operations against the chaotic, desperate scramble of Falky's last days. The shuttle surged forward, not with the roar of jets, but with a profound, almost imperceptible lift. The old world's gravity, its mundane limitations fell away. I stood at the command console, my gaze fixed on the unfolding landscape outside. The air, once heavy with the mainland's recycled particulate, now tasted of ozone and something indefinable, the raw, unfiltered essence of ki. Below, the crumbling expanse of my former kingdom dwindled, swallowed by the immense green-blue vastness of the planar earth. My mind, a precision instrument, worked furiously. This was not a map I knew. This was a living, breathing entity. The terrain suddenly stretched endlessly, unlike the finite, curved horizon of the illusion. Towering bioluminescent flora, undulated in strange currents of ki, their colors shifting with an otherworldly luminescence. Mountains, not jagged stone peaks, but colossal formations that seemed to breathe with ancient energy. Their summits lost in cloud layers that pulse with soft internal light. Rivers, wider than any ocean I had known, flowed with a liquid luminescence, their currents carrying what I instinctively knew was raw, unrefined ki. Nadeen's calculations adapted in real time. Master, she informed me, her voice a calm anchor in this new sensory deluge. Our current trajectory minimizes interaction with known ki-dense regions. Stealth parameters optimized for avoidance of complex ki signatures. Likelihood of detection by indigenous life forms or extant planar settlements remains negligible at this altitude and velocity. My first tests of the new mobility were flawless. The shuttle moved with a silent grace and ethereal wraith gliding over forests that stretched for thousands of miles, across plains that seemed to ripple with living energy. I felt the immense, pervasive presence of ki, a constant underlying hum that permeated everything. It was overwhelming, a raw, untamed power that could shatter the fragile human mind. But mine remained cold, calculating. I was insulted, yet acutely aware. Arden's gaze, it was here, it was everywhere. He had allowed me to rise, watch me rule, and now he would watch me move. This immense new reality was a board upon which a far grander game was being played, and I, Malachi, was now a piece capable of moving unperceived. My sanity, often a concept others clung to with such desperation, remained steadfast. It was not a struggle to maintain it, but a continuous recalibration. The sheer scale of the planar world, the boundless ki, the knowledge of Arden's omnipresence, was an immense pressure, but one I welcomed. It sharpened my focus, demanded a new level of precision. My old methods of control, subtle tones and unseen manipulation, now had to adapt to a cosmic scale. I was no longer merely controlling the fragile human mind. I was learning to manipulate the very fabric of reality itself. Our journey continued for days, then weeks, measured not by hours, but by Nadeen's progress reports and my own escalating comprehension of this new domain. We passed over colossal creatures, silent giants moving through phosphorescent oceans that dwarfed any of the mainland seas. We observed distant, shimmering architectural marvels, hints of harmonious planar civilizations deliberately veiling their presence, or perhaps not noticing our fleeting passage. Malachi was an intruder, a phantom, and I reveled in it. The target, a vast, desolate mountain range on a remote continent, slowly materialized on Nadeen's long-range scans. Its peaks were jagged, defiant, scarred by ancient ki flows, yet infused with immense, unrefined power. It was the perfect sanctuary, a natural fortress, a place where the discordant energies I sought to master would feel at home. The antigravity shuttle descended with unnerving silence, touching down on a wide, barren plateau high among the peaks. The air here was thin, crisp, crackling with raw ki. I stepped out, the ground firm beneath my feet. My gaze swept the horizon. The planar world stretched endlessly, vast and untamed. It was not a world to be loved, but to be understood, to be broken, to be dominated. My quest for immortality and equality with Arden had merely begun its first step. The king had shed his crown, his kingdom, and his past. Now, from this remote bastion, the demigod would forge his new empire. challenge to the very harmony Arden so arrogantly maintained. The game had truly